switch. Gobert is out there. Doncic maneuvers for the lead. Got it!
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Switch Podcast, man. I'm your host, Kewan Humphreys. And looking at that last clip I just showed y'all was Luka Doncic putting the knife in the heart of all the Minnesota Timberwolves fans in Minnesota, man. Now, y'all know how I feel about Kyrie if y'all watched my Thunder video. Y'all know how I feel about Kyrie. But I had the Wolves winning this series. I had Timberwolves winning this series in 6. I felt like the defense and the way they got after it was going to be too much for the Mavericks because, you know, Kyrie and Luka are great, but you're gonna throw all world defenders on them, and P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. may not hit the shots that they hit in that Thunder series, but through these first two games, P.J. Washington and Derrick Jones Jr. haven't had to hit those shots because Luka Doncic has been spectacular. Kyrie Irving had a spectacular game one and a spectacular second half in this series. In this game too, and man, it's 2-0 going back to Dallas. Like, I did not see this coming. I did fully believe that it would be 1-1 going back to Dallas. I didn't think Dallas would drop both games in Minnesota. But to go back to Dallas up 2-0 against a relatively young team and you know, led by Anthony Edwards and Karl-Anthony Towns, man, I mean, this is a gut punch that a lot of Timberwolves fans did not see coming. They did not see coming. But I want to look at what I believe is the reason why the Dallas Mavericks are up 2-0, and that's the big men matchup. On both sides, Rudy Gobert is hurting the Timberwolves, and Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford are helping the Mavericks out a lot. First, I want to talk about Rudy Gobert. Now, coming into this series, I felt like the way Minnesota was going to defend, they was going to have, of course, McDaniels on Luka, Anthony Edwards on Kyrie, and they were gonna run, and we knew Dallas was gonna run the pick and roll, try to get Gobert in the pick and roll because Gobert's gonna play drop. He doesn't play drop coverage because he can't slide his feet. He's a great rim protector. You bring him away from the rim, he's not that good a defender as you saw in that clip I just showed you. But what I expect, okay, say Luka got the ball at the top of the key. They set a screen, Gobert plays drop. McDaniels chases him, and Luka is ultimately forced into the paint to Gobert. But what Luka's doing, he's putting Jaden McDaniels in jail. When I say that, I mean he's dribbling in front of him, keeping McDaniels on his back until he eventually gets to a step back jumper mid range. That shot's been there at all series so far. And on the flip side, when Kyrie's coming off that pick, he's going downhill. He's not crab dribbling. He's not, you know what I'm saying, keeping his defender on his hip. He's going downhill, going right at Gobert, putting Gobert on his heels. But man, like it's really, really tough. And on the flip side, Daniel Gafford was spectacular today. He had 5 dunks, I believe. I got the stats right here. He had 5 dunks, 8 for 10 from the field, 16 points, 5 rebounds. And Derek Lively off the bench coming in, giving you 14 points and 9 rebounds. And the thing is, like, when you got a guy like Luka Doncic, a guy who's elite at coming off a pick and roll, playing, you know, the ball handling the pick and roll, you gotta decide whether you're gonna keep dropping or you're gonna blitz. And if you blitz, he's gonna throw the ball right down the seam to a Derek Lively or a Daniel Gafford for an easy dunk because Gobert's out there blitzing the pick. So the Timberwolves gotta make a decision. You gotta make a decision. In the last play, I want to talk about the last play real quick before I go on. The last play, Jaden McDaniels is on. The Mavericks are down 2 with like 19 seconds and ticking. Jaden McDaniels is on Luka. They call for the screen, and you know it looked like Gobert high hedged, and McDaniels left him there. And that was a switch, and that's all she wrote. You know, Luka Doncic cooked up Rudy Gobert and got the step back 3. Rudy probably could have forced him to the paint. You're up by 2. Played a 3-point shot, but me personally, if I'm Chris Finch, I'm not having Rudy Gobert out in the game. I'm bringing in Kyle Anderson, and we're gonna switch everything. I'd rather have them make a tough shot over Kyle Anderson or anybody or Naz Reid, anybody, rather than having Rudy Gobert out there trying to defend Luka Doncic at 3-point line. It was bad, and it ended up losing them the game. I also want another big man that I kind of want to talk about is Karl-Anthony Towns. Karl-Anthony Towns has not been good so far in this series. He went 4 for 16 tonight. Had 4 fouls early. Had 4 fouls early. No, my bad. 2 fouls early in the game. Missed most of the first half, and then he didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. He only played 26 minutes in this game. He didn't play at all in the fourth quarter. Now that may not be because he played bad, but maybe because how good Naz Reid played. Naz Reid played spectacular. He was the reason that they even had that they were even in the game. He hit 7 threes, missed the game-winning 3 at the buzzer, but he played really well. And I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe you try to see how, because you're down 2-0 now, and what you're doing right now is not working. You're going back to Dallas, which means those role players for Dallas that have been shooting bad are going to shoot better. That's how the playoffs works. So what do you do now? I think you gotta limit Gobert minutes. You gotta limit Gobert minutes, man. He is scoring. He's getting fouled. He's getting dunks and stuff. But defensively, you're not going to be able to defend Luka and Kyrie if you are playing drop coverage into the paint. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. If you blitz, you putting yourself in a bad predicament. So, man, I just don't know. I also got to talk about the man. I got to talk about Anthony Edwards, man. Anthony Edwards, he struggled tonight again. 5 for 17 from the field, 2 for 7 from 3. Finished 21.7 assists and 5 rebounds. There was a possession right before Luka's game winner. Anthony Edwards came down. He got caught up, tried to do some pivot, and ended up throwing the ball out of bounds. And you gotta that's a bad turnover right there. It's bad, and it's even worse when the Mavericks score on the other end. So Ant, I'm seeing it. We love Ant. We love the young rising star, but I just don't know if he's there yet. I don't know if he's there yet. We know he's a really good player. He's really athletic. He's explosive. He has the brand, the charm, the confidence, the cockiness, the pride, the arrogance, everything he has it, but it just looked like he don't know how to make the game easy for himself yet. There was a play in the fourth quarter where he found himself, he had an open baseline mid-range jumper. That same shot has been open all game. He didn't take it, turns into, he ends up passing up the shot, turns into a long 3 that ends up missing. But he's got to find that space. The mid-range is still alive. The top scorers in the game today all have a dynamic mid-range, and for Anthony Edwards to really take that next step, he's got to pick his spots. He's got to find that space in the mid-range. Because right now he's either taking threes or he's going straight to the rim. I believe in game 1 he only took 4 2-point attempts. And that's, what I'm saying, this is a guy that we know to be to live above the rim. He only took 4 2-point attempts, and those attempts were dunks and layup attempts. But you gotta find that space. Jaden McDaniels struggled tonight. He went 1 for 6. Mike Conley was big in this game too. Finished with 18 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. It seemed like he did a good job of I guess calming the storm. Calming the storm when Dallas stormed back. He had timely floaters, got timely steals and rebounds and stuff. But man, if you're the Timberwolves, where do you go from here? You had an 18-point lead at some point, and the Mavericks just chopped at it. They just chopped at it, man. I was watching the game and I said, okay, third quarter, the Timberwolves got to put them away. They got to put them away because you don't want to get to a point where you're going back and forth with Kyrie and Luka, 2 of the best closers in the NBA. You're going back and forth with them because anything can happen. Anything can happen. I mean, late in the game, the Mavericks are down by 2 points. Kyrie misses 2 free throws. He missed 3 free throws in the fourth quarter. Now, this is one of the best free throw shooters in the game, especially in the fourth quarter. Kyrie missed 3 free throws in the fourth quarter. Timberwolves are up by 5, but I say a little over a minute left. And Kyrie gets it right back. He hits a 3 in the corner, cuts the game down to 2. Like, you can't put yourself in a position to have to go back and forth with a team like this, because with Kyrie and Luka, you don't know. That's just a tough position to be in if you're the Timberwolves, man. Like I said, I had the Wolves winning this series in 6, but you know what I'm saying. Looking at it now, if I was to look at it now and predict, I would have the Mavericks in 6. But you know what I'm saying. I will take another series if the Mavericks win. I would take another series incorrect. because it's gonna be another series that I got wrong this playoff run. But man, Mavericks fans, how we feeling? How we feeling, Mavericks fans? 2-0 going back to Dallas is tough. Tomorrow we have Game 3 of the Boston versus Indiana series. It is, I think that series is over, especially if Tyrese can't play. He's dealing with a hamstring injury. If he can't play, that series is definitely over. But that's all I got for y'all, man. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe, man. Share with y'all folks. We had 96 subs. We are 4 subs away from the 100 sub goal before June. Appreciate love and support. Share with your folks. We out. Yay!